Hey friends, it's Stacy with Kzoo Keto, and this is another episode of Cookbook Keto. I am starting this one solo. Greg is out playing golf. Of course. He took the day off. I had the day off. I had things to do. He had other things to do. My aim is to shock the crap out of Nate and actually have dinner ready to go or close to it by the time he gets here. He's supposed to be here in about an hour and a half. And I am making a main course, a side, and a bread, which is also a side. Vegetable side, and a bread side, and a main course. So I'm doing it as easy as I can. They don't need to know that. But I'm making a pizza casserole. I am making something with Brussels sprouts. And I'm making some bread twists. So we'll see how this all turns out. And it wouldn't be a complete Cookbook Keto without my kitchen helpers. For the breadsticks, we need mozzarella cheese, coconut flour, almond flour, butter, salt, eggs, pesto, and baking powder. And this recipe does come from dietdoctor.com. We'll link it below. We'll link all the recipes below so you can go and try it for yourself. So this is actually pretty easy to make. First thing you do, of course, is preheat your oven, 350 degrees. I've already done that while I was gathering all of this stuff. So the second thing we're going to do is put all of our dry ingredients in the bowl, which is half a cup of almond flour, quarter cup of coconut flour, half a teaspoon of pink salt, 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And we're going to whisk those all together. And I use the whisk attachments to our stuff. Because why not? It's small. It's handheld. We're going to put that aside. The next thing we do is you take 6.5 ounces of shredded mozzarella cheese and 2 ounces of butter. I don't know what the cup equivalents are to this. I just measured them on the kitchen scale. I think it's probably a little more accurate doing it that way than it is using cups. You can actually melt this on the stove in a pot, but that takes too long for me because I'm not patient. So I'm actually going to throw them in the microwave. We have a melt button on the microwave that works great for this type of stuff. I'm going to do that. Got my cheese and butter melted. Just trying to stir them a little bit without getting butter all over the place, because they don't want to combine very well. I kind of see why they want you to do it on the stove. You're supposed to stir it until the batter is smooth and it's not really turning into a batter. Alright, I put it back in the microwave for a little bit. It hasn't really changed much as appearance goes. We're going to roll with it, because that's how I roll. And see if maybe once we put the dry ingredients in, it'll do its thing. One thing I did miss is when you put your dry ingredients in the bowl, you're supposed to put your egg in and mix that up. It's supposed to be a beaten egg, so it's really quick, just to beat it up with a fork. And you're good to go. We'll get that mixed up in there. And it says to slowly add this to it. So we'll put a little bit in there and mix. We'll put a little bit more for the rest of it, because it's just one gelatinous blob. It's mixing, but not in the way you would expect. I'm going to try kneading it on some parchment paper. We need the parchment paper anyway to roll it out. Just going to knead it like I do with regular fathead dough. It's really hot. That seems to be pretty good. Now we're going to cover it with some more parchment paper and roll it out. It says to roll it to about 1/5 of an inch thick. I can do about a quarter. I think 1/5 is asking a little too much. Then we're going to take our pizza cutter and cut it in about 1 inch wide strips. We're going to take a 1/4 cup of pesto. We're just going to spread that around on top. Probably would have been better if I'd read this beforehand, because you're supposed to spread the pesto before you cut it. Thinking I might have made mine too big, so I'm not quite sure all this pesto is going to fill this up. Alright, we got our cookie sheet here with the Silpat on it. Silicone, whatever. It's actually not Silpat. I got them from Costco. So then, based on the picture, you twist them and you put them on the thing. So we're gonna just twist. Not real sure what I'm doing here. I mean, whatever works, right? Some of these are gonna look stupid. Let's try twisting them from each end. Oh, this might be a technique, sort of. So I'm finding that if I squeeze down on the ends, it kind of keeps it raveled up. This says it actually serves 10. I think I got more than 10. I definitely got more than 10. They kind of look like dog treats. Like the little rolled dog treats that we give dogs. Last step, we take a pastry brush, dip it in your egg, and just give them a quick egg wash. Now we're going to put them in the oven for 15 to 20 minutes. Next we're going to do the pizza bake. Pretty simple. Typical pizza ingredients: ground beef, pizza sauce, Italian seasoning and oregano, mozzarella cheese, uncured pepperoni, and we're doing the shaky shake cheese, the Parmesan cheese. I know it's not the greatest, it's got the cellulose or whatever in it, but this is what we have and we're okay using it. Alright, I got my beef going. To that, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of Italian seasoning and 2 teaspoons of oregano. We'll get this browned up. And the nice thing about adding the seasoning in there while it's cooking like that is because it soaks up the grease, so you still get the fat content. In here I've got 4 cups of mozzarella cheese and half a cup of the Parmesan cheese, and I just kind of use my hand to mix them together. Breadsticks are done. I think these are looking pretty good. They're a little crispy on the ends, as you can see. But they're done, so now we can finish browning up this burger, which I think is just about done. Assemble the pizza casserole, and then I can get going on the Brussels sprouts. And as you can see, it's only 5:37. Ground beef is done, so the next step is to take the pizza sauce and add it in. There's a little less in this jar than what it calls for. It calls for 16. This is only 13. It won't. But we're going to make it work. Get this all stirred up. I'd like to point out that not only do I have one component done, I'm almost finished with the second one. And I'm running the camera all by myself. So take that, guys. Okay, this is stirred up. Let's start assembling. It says to use a 9x12 casserole dish. I don't have a 9x12. I have a 9x13, and I have this one, which I think is like 8x12. So we're going to see how this works out. This recipe also does call for deli ham as sort of like your crust in the bottom. I'm not a ham eater. Nate's not a ham eater, so we're not doing the deli ham. So because of that, I'm going to spray it with some cooking spray. Pan is ready. I forgot to mention, preheat your oven to 350 degrees. I already did that, but I forgot to mention it. You know what else I forgot to mention? Where I got this recipe. This is from hiddensprings.homestead.com. Again, that will be linked below. So what we're going to do is we're going to start out by layering some of the pizza meat sauce, on the bottom of the pan. It's almost like a pizza lasagna. I would say if you have a 9x13, you could almost easily double this. The meat part at least, anyway. Up next is some pepperoni. Bam! Look at that. All done and ready to go in the oven. I did for the second layer. My battery died, so I don't know how much it got, but for my second layers, I did the beef and then the cheese and then the pepperoni this time. First time I did beef, pepperoni, then cheese. Into the oven it goes for 20 minutes. It is 5:48 and it's supposed to be here at 6. I think I'm pretty good for time. Okay, so the last thing is the garlic Brussels sprouts. So what we're going to do is we're going to speed up our time. We have individual packs of frozen garlic or frozen Brussels sprouts. Microwavable. Cuts my time by I don't know how much, because otherwise I'd have to chop these and peel them and put them in a pot and boil them for a little bit. Anyway, taking the easy way out. Brussels sprouts, avocado oil, minced garlic, salt and pepper, and optional lemon zest, which I think we're gonna do. First things first, let's get these in the microwave. Looks like you put them in for 6 to 8 minutes on high. Okay, Brussels sprouts are done. Next thing I need to do is cut them in half. I did not get out of that step, but I gotta cut them in half. And we're also gonna get a skillet going over high heat with some olive oil in it to get it really hot for these. I said olive oil because that's what the recipe calls for, but we always use avocado oil, so that's what I'm using. So they both arrived at the same time.
Hi. Is the mic on?
Pizza bake's done. I will say one thing without you guys being here, you two, it's a hell of a lot quieter. Okay, we're gonna get started cutting these in half. Hopefully I don't burn myself.
Looks like Stacy went to the library and picked up herself a new book, Unicorns and Dragons.
Okay, we didn't need to cook them for as long because I did them in the microwave first, so we're going to go ahead and add in 4 cloves of garlic, which is 2 teaspoons. We're going to add our salt and pepper. And our lemon zest. Stir up the garlic a little bit so it doesn't burn. Alright, let's get that stirred up. Cook it for a couple more minutes and that should be good to go. Alright, Brussels sprouts are done, and I forgot to say I got the recipe from laurainthekitchen.com. Or is it Lauren? I don't know. Either way, it'll be linked down below. Okay, everybody. We have easy pizza casserole, garlic Brussels sprouts, and pesto twisty bread. Twisty
2 sides.
something.
And a dessert coming.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know about the dessert.
Stacy has been very busy today.
So
Yes, not doing what you think. This is only a couple hours of effort. She's been up since like 5 or something. So that's
5:40.
her brain.
Way more than I do on my day off.
Yeah. So should we just dig in and just like, or do you want us to try certain things on camera?
Try whatever you want.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll try the Brussels sprout because those will probably last the longest.
They're actually not terrible.
The flavor of the Brussels sprouts are really good. However, they're a little mushy. It's not what I'm used to for
And
Brussels sprouts.
Yeah.
I was trying to take a shortcut, so I cooked them in the microwave first.
Ah.
But I actually kind of like them mushy because we've had them before. And I don't dig like all the layers that you have to go through. It's just like the one vegetable I like mushy.
Okay. I'm not gonna lie, I prefer the normal Brussels sprout way. I like when the exterior leaves are a little crunchy.
Mm-hmm. I think that's
they
what's
almost melt in your mouth.
It's what's supposed to happen with the texture of frying them, but I think she's right. I think so. Being frozen, getting warmed up, and then basically cooked again.
I read something that they're actually the crispiest if you cook them from frozen.
Right.
So I probably should have done that, but I was trying to be like a ha in your face because
We are eating before 7 o'clock, let the record show. This is
We're eating before the dogs are Cookbook
incredible.
Keto. That's crazy.
In the history of Cookbook Keto, this has never happened.
I'm sure it's happened.
No.
Alright, so the Pesto breadsticks. They kind of taste like bad dough breadsticks with a little pesto in. So
They're
There
fathead,
you go.
but instead of mixing the mozzarella with cream cheese, it's mixed with butter.
interesting.
Why is it wet?
Why is what wet?
I bit into it and squirted out liquid.
Probably pesto.
You must have got the extra pesto. They're good. I like them. So the main course. Ground beef. Some sort of bad thing in the bottom. Is that what it is?
Nope. It is cheese on the bottom. Cheese, beef. No. Starts out with beef. I forgot what order I did. Beef on the bottom, pepperoni, cheese, beef, cheese, pepperoni. And because you and I don't like ham, you're supposed to put ham slices on the
I
bottom.
appreciate you greatly for that.
Yeah, see?
We like ham.
The
We like
non-ham eaters
This would have been a bad day
outrule it.
without the ham.
You know what the squirrel I use right now? Ham.
Ham.
Yeah.
It is good. It is a bit oily, but it is good.
I didn't drain it when I was making it because I put the spices in there
Ah,
and they soaked up a lot of grease. So there's like one less step.
it is a bit oily, but it is good.
And the cheese makes it a little oily too. But as long as you guys like it, I think it'll be another weeknight thing because it's super easy.
I approve. Super easy. So Adam and Mason aren't keto, but I'm proud of him because he's starting to go with the zero sugar route for his soda. After boycotting soda for quite a while, they're coming kind of get back into it with summer and everything, but zero sugar. So, but he still doesn't know how to use the utensils properly and being able to cut anything. But he's drinking zero sugar, so there's still hope for him.
He still has a few months before he's a legal adult, so
I cut it with my knife, or with my fork though.
Yeah.
Works out fine.
Yeah, but he's having trouble.
So you guys see my dysfunctionality on camera. All of theirs are just very deep and constant.
so Greg pre-cleaned an extra piece of the pizza stuff.
I mean, Mason probably will eat it too, and Nate. Adam won't because he doesn't have that much time.
I am pretty impressed with myself.
I think that you should be.
So Simon, swear to God, my hobby is tripping over you now. Simon's digging at the rug again. Next we're gonna do
I'm sure I've been badmouthed for quite a while.
actually you haven't.
Wow. Oh, how you thought possibly it was quiet while we were gone.
Because that crap wasn't going on.
It was like a little buffalo and,
They were actually all calm and sleeping.
you know, Stacy from like, 2010 would have been into unicorns only and dragons would have just been like stupid.
It is interesting though that that has all of the colors on there so that she can match her colors.
True story.
See, that's why I don't like color games, because I know my colors. I don't have any problems figuring them out. All of a sudden, it's the Sahara Desert for Odie.
Yeah.
You ran around in circles twice.
I mean, yeah, that's a lot of work.
It is.
I'd be tired, exhausted. Are you still filming, or yeah, looks like you are.
Have I come back around and shut the camera off?
Or would you like me to push the button?